First Midnight Beta class changes. What's up guys, Petko here. Just a few minutes ago, officially Midnight Beta is out, which means the game is gonna develop much more rapidly. Every single week you can expect changes to happen, and between Tuesday and Friday, and I'll make sure to cover everything. Before we begin, they're saying they like to shift the power of some specs, especially as melee, to their auto attack, so pretty much more wide damage. In a sense, they will be trying out their best to see what exactly can be done towards the tuning of healers. They did mention they're buffing the healers. They already buffed them damage-wise a few days ago, and now it seems like healing-wise they also might monitor some nerfs in the next couple of days. Anyway, let's begin and see exactly what they've changed this time around on beta. Alpha is officially over. The beta testing begins with max level. First to the beta, Blood Decay. Very minor changes for Blood Decay. As you can see, mostly none, so that's fine. I didn't expect much for Blood anyway. Frost Decay got a 5% sizable nerf to all of the damage. That's about it, just flat out nerf. Everything else is gonna be the same, no changes for Unholy. Moving next, Demon Hunter. Starting with Devourer. So they buffed Mastery by a 10% while not in meta, which obviously is gonna be good for your sustained damage once you don't have meta. Keep in mind, for the people that never seen Devouring DH, your major cooldowns don't have a timer. Like for example, Havoc has, let's say, 2 minutes on your meta. Devourer is based on how many stacks of orbs you have, kind of like a Cinder in League of Legends, similar to that. So you gotta make sure to collect your orbs or fragments, then once you have enough you can get to meta. So that's a good bump, I guess. Also, a little bit more tuning done to Devourer. As you can see, they are really trying to make this spec work as good as they can before the expansion comes out. It seems like a massive shift to damage is done towards Void Ray, which is the spender. Collapsing starter damage reduced by 50%. However, they did mention that they are doing small update on Collapsing Star, which is your major ability inside Metamorphosis. Meta Void Ray damage reduced, but overall Void Ray should do more damage off meta. But they also nerfed it by 25%. Void Step damage reduced. Hungering Slash. Okay. Void meta can no longer be out of council. Alright, so overall, it seems like they are really trying to fine-tune this Devourer, but it seems like, to me at least, so far, it looks to be a small nerfs to the spec itself. Perhaps the Mastery might offset some, but it seems like most of them are gonna be some nerfs. Moving forward, Evoker. The only relevant change done to Evoker is to Preservation, and they nerfed the healing by 12%. That's it, nothing else. Okay. Hunter. So Hunter has seen a new talent as Dark Ranger. Okay. Interesting. Pack leader also got the Hawk Strider updated. Let me check anything relevant. Hunter Apex Talons. Rapid fire damage increased by 25%. Each shot fired from rapid fire reduces the cooldown of aim shot by 0.5 seconds. Okay. Okay, so they reworked the Apex Talons completely, or what? Aim shot critical strike damage increased by 50% of your critical strike damage. Oh, critical strike damage increased by 50% of your critical strike. Aha. So that means crit might be the most important thing right now. Damage of your other range abilities increased by 6%. Wow. This is insane, Epic Talents, by the way. Aim shot always critical strikes. Oh, that is a counterintuitive. Because if aim shot always crit strikes, and they put all of the power to aim shot, then why would you stack crit? Maybe you want to shift to Mastery. Mastery is just flat out damage, right? But then you don't benefit from the second part of the talent. Nonetheless, very, very good Apex Talents, it seems like to me at least. First glance, blind reaction. Some other new talents done to We'll see, anything cool here. Precise shots increases the critical strike chance of your arcane and multi shot by 10%. Aha, so even less of a value you get from your crit, it seems like. Okay. Damage from a kill shot increase damage of your target received from Black Arrow by 30% stacking up 10 times. Wow. The execute here will be crazy. Double tap has returned. All-round wins are removed, however. Okay. Only thing done to survive is the takedown range, which is your major cooldown from 25 yard to 15. And some issue fixing here. Fine. Mage tuning. Let's see. Frostfire bolt damage increased by 44%, but direct damage also reduced. Interesting. Spell Slinger, some bug fixes, it seems like. Okay. Arcane. All damage increased by 15%. Arcane Blast additional 50% buff. Arcane Pulse which is a new AoE talent. Again 50% buff. And Arcane Missile by 25. Wow, that is a huge tuning to Arcane Mage. Seems like I would love to get my hands on beta the next couple of minutes, because right now it's still in maintenance mode. It's soon gonna be unlocked in the next couple of minutes. Interesting buffs for Arcane Mage, it seems like. Okay. About they also nerf the clear casting chance from 5 to 3% if you have eliminated thoughts. Fire grants 2% mastery 4 seconds plus 3% mastery for 6 seconds. Okay, nerf to feel the burn, but fireball damage also got reduced by 25%. However, they shifted this power towards Pyroblast and Flame Strike, doing 5% more damage. Alright, fair enough. Frost, new talent, Flurry fires 1 additional missile. New talent, Thermal Void, Flurry has 100% chance to cause the next life lance to repeat its cost at 100% effectiveness. Ooh, that's gonna be really good for single target, by the way. I like that. But I think Thermal Void was a different talent back in the day, right? Wasn't that extension of Ice Veins? Not sure. Some good tuning done to Frost Mage. Freezing Winds updated no longer increase the number of freezing stacks applied by Blizzard L. Ice Lance shatters at 5 stacks, so freezing was 4. Frostbolt increased damage by 100%. Shatter damage reduced by 50%. Okay, so I see what they're doing. Previously, all of your damage was pretty much tied to shatter. Now they reduced shatter damage by half, but they give you more baseline damage. Ray of Loss, Flurry, Glacial Spike, Water Jet, your pet Frozen Orb. Aha. My question is, how are you gonna approach the AoE on Frost Mage, given the fact that you don't have infinite orbs anymore? You don't have CDR and Orb. What, you gonna just spam Blizzard Spike when you have it, and that's pretty much it? And Frostbolt in AoE? Question mark. Ice Lance, I guess. And Comet. We'll see, guys. Monk, Mistweaver is the only tuning done to them. All healing reduced by 5%. New talent, you heal for 3% of all magical damage taken. Minor changes done to Mistweaver. Also, Thunder Focus T cooldown has been increased to 45 seconds from 30. Okay. Holy Paladin, all healing reduced by 5. Okay, so they are pretty much nerfing all the healers by set percentage. Press was 12%. Mistweaver 5% also for Holy. Beacon of Savior of Star Shield reduced by 50%. Interesting. Solar Grace now just gives you flat out haste by 5%. Wearing a shield, have 50% chance to block incoming spells, reducing the damage by 20%. Ooh, without a shield, you have 50% chance to parry incoming physical attacks. Okay. I like that. A little bit more durability done to them. But less healing. Retribution just received all damage done reduced by 11%. Lol. Every other class is getting paragraphs and paragraphs of changes, and look at Fury change. Look at the Ret Paladin changes. Just that. Minus 11%. So yeah. Priest. Void Shoot and Power Word Shoot now share cooldown. Great, by the way. And they cannot stack anymore. Great. I was gonna say this is gonna reproduce something we had back in season 2 of this Priest being meta with the massive shields, because you could double shield targets. Now you can't. That's pretty good. And now the reflective damage is much less. Love it. That's a nerf to this Priest. Rogue. Deathstalker changes for Rogue. When you consume final Deathstalker, mark from your target, mark target dies, gain 30 energy was 40, and your next Envenom cast with 5 or more common points, you guarantee a critical strike. So they're nerfing that. Interesting. The goal for these changes to Deathstalker mark are to make it more forgiving to apply and to clarify the cycle of Death mark. Assassination no longer needs to be stealth to apply Death mark, but a new Deathstalker mark cannot be applied while one is already active. Aha! So it makes it easier and less punishing if you're out of stealth. Okay. That is pretty decent for Astaroth, it seems like. Okay. I guess sub question mark also can benefit from this. Hunt them down, damage 50%. These changes to Deathstalker mark Darkest Night targets a situation where a player has Darkest Night, but does not want to prioritize Envenom and thus cannot apply Deathstalker's mark. For instance, they might have Darkest Night from killing an enemy, but want to prior Garrote or Rupture on a new pack. Now Garrote will still apply a new stack of Death Marker. Okay, this seems to be a massive quality of life update done to Deathstalker, and I love it. The player may use Envenom where appropriate. Before it was impossible to use Darkest Night Envenom on a target with Deathstalker mark. It seems like a massive quality of life change here done for Rogue. Fatebound, damage done by Tails Fatebound, coin flip reduced by half. Oof. Oof. And Trickster Unseen Blades damage reduced by 20%. Okay. As a Rogue, melee auto attack damage increased by 200%. Rapture Garrote more damage, Envenom less damage, Internal Bleeding more damage, Impactable Strike more damage. Less energy generation, by the way, for Assassination Rogue. Interesting decision. Impeccable rank 1 now grants 30% base energy when Envenom expires was 40. Ooh, even less. So, was Assassination Rogue getting way too much energy for them to nerf energy regen? Interesting. Because I know Outlaw is definitely struggling with energy regen. Okay. Let's see about Outlaw, what they did to Outlaw. Taking him by surprise has been redesigned and renamed Preparation. We had a talent like that for, I think, with Subro back in the days. Immediately resets the cooldown of Adrenaline Rush between the Ice and Blade Flurry, Blade Rush, and Killing Spree. And Preparation did exactly the same thing. It resetted cooldowns, but I think it was utility cooldowns. That is pretty good. This might make AR uptime, well, not might make. This will definitely make AR uptime higher than right now. Previously, it was 100% or at least 90% in the World Within Midnight. It didn't look closely to that, so I love to see that talent here. Love it. All ability damage increased by 38%. 38% buffed to a spec is diabolical. That's how behind they were. Melee auto attack was also increased by 210%. Killing spree damage increased as well. Dispatch increased damage by 20% at max rank instead of 6. Those are this is likely the biggest buffs I've seen to a spec in one patch for a long time. Wow. Wow, okay. Grand melee bonus also got nerfed a little bit, but overall this looks to be insanely big for Outlaw. What the fuck? Wow, okay. Huge patch for Rogues, by the way, so far. Enhanced Shaman, all damage done reduced by 2%. And that's all for Enhanced. And that's all for Shaman. Alright. Warlock. We're revisiting our approach to curses and blights for Midnight. Our intention with pacts were to reduce the number of keybinds that curses and blights would occupy. However, we noticed during our playtest how demanding the extra key press was, and we want to avoid situations where making macros was required to optimally play with a packed functionality. I mean, genuinely speaking, every single spec has macros to ease their gameplay. Now, whether they're going to be a cursor macros or macros combining two spells, it's just natural to have macros. And it seems like for them, that was already too hard for people. Okay? In this iteration, we're re-adding Curse of Exhaustion and Tongues to the class 3 and adding Blight of Tongues as a choice against Blight of Weakness. Okay. This should lower the barrier to entry. I'm assuming people will start using more utility on Warlock? Question mark? Okay. And that's all for Warlock. No damage, no damage tuning whatsoever. Just utility tuning, I guess. And last but not least, Warrior. Barbaric training now increases the damage of your critical strike damage of Whirlwind. Okay. Champion Spear damage done when leaping to the spear reduced by 80%. Ooh, that's a... So the nerf to Champion Spear damage whatever. The Champion Spear was used to group mobs together. That's pretty good. But Thunderclap now applies Rain to all targets if you know Rain. It was 5 targets before. Ooh, this is uncapped damage from Thunder. So uncapped Rain application from the Thunderclap? Does that mean you want to put out Thunderclap even as arms? Question mark? Although, maybe not. I guess that's huge for Prot. I'm not sure if that's going to be beneficial for... But I guess if you play Mountain Tail Fury, it can also be beneficial, right? Because you do clap. Well, I guess Thunder Blast, which can be also kind of clap, right? I guess. Fury Apex Talents got reworked, which is actually very cool. Rampage damage increased by 10%, and the Rampage generates a stack of Rampaging Berserking. When you use Recklessness, you go Berserk, consuming all stacks of Rampage Berserker to gain 1% strength for 12 seconds. So that's gonna make you burst even more powerful. Rampage cost reduced by 30 rage, and rampage damage is increased by 10. Ooh, okay. A rampage extends duration of berserk by 2 seconds. Interesting. So it's all about uptime. I feel like I've already mentioned this, but uptime on Fury Warrior is gonna be even more important next season, right? To keep up these stacks, to make your next city insanely big. Beat Cleaver has been updated. Whirlwind deals 50% increased damage when it hits 3 or more targets, okay? Some talent shifting here. Depth experience, blood test, critical strike chance is increased by 10%. If you enrage, it extends your enrage by 1 second. Unshackled Thirst has been removed. Interesting. And Protection Warrior, Apex Talons Phalanx has been updated. Thunderclap causes your next huge slam to unleash a wave of force, dealing physical damage to all enemies in front of you. All enemies, no cap, I guess. And reducing the damage they do to you by 5% for 8 seconds. Was 5. So more damage and also some durability. Great stuff. Your new talent, you focus on targets struck by your Devastator, dealing 20% additional revenge damage to them. And revenge now deals damage to all targets in front of you. But sweeping revenge removed. But that is what? I thought they're shifting away from revenge to Thunderclap playstyle, but this is crazy. I need to log in. I need to log in test if that's actually the case. If they make a revenge uncut, that is gonna be crazy damage from Prot Warrior. Anyway, boys, that's everything so far. I will be logging in the next handful of hours, start testing, but you can expect daily streams from now on, and time to start testing every single spec class into the game. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the beta for more testing. I'll report back all the information so far that I've learned. Peace out.